Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Ashley, which is Ashley's Media Addiction, and it is time for my TBR for December. So this is actually also going to feature my Bookemon TBR because I am a co-host for that, and I'm very excited to get to some of these books. So I will kind of go through what my TBR is, and then I'll tell you which ones I'm thinking for the prompts because it can change. So, as you know or may not know, in December I read all my failed TBR books from across my TBR game. So that's good for me. You will see why I am being so ironic in just 1 second. So I know I didn't post my TBR in November, but I did actually play my November TBR game. So I am going to kind of go through what I should have read for that. I'm going to start with the ones I actually passed, and then I'll go over the ones I failed once I'm kind of saying the books. So I actually needed to get 12 points in November. That's not a great time when I'm away for 3 weeks. So as you can guess, I did not complete that TBR. Not even a little bit, if I'm being honest with you guys. The prompt I did manage to complete was less than 300 pages. I got the word less, and so I read Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton for that, and that was the only one I read, and that was a 1 point word. So that was a lot of books that I actually failed with. I did start a 3 point word I actually managed to find, which was Squats, which was a book on fitness, and I'm currently reading that, and that is From Look Off With Love by Mariana Zapata. So that is a sports romance about figure skating, and I am enjoying it. I just never had time to read in November. As I said, I was away for 3 weeks. I was touring Europe. I was seeing my favourite band, Extraordinary Heroes, and I'm currently wearing their hoodie because I miss it so much, but also it's like the warmest thing I own. It's insane. But yeah, I was away, so I never really had any reading time. The fact that I read even one book is really surprising for me. So as you can tell, I got a lot of books that I did fail. So let's kind of go over the ones I actually have on my December TBR as my failed books. Yeah. So before we get into that though, the one book that I do need to read in December, and that's for my book club, the Recreate Book Club, and that is Northern Lights by Philip Pullman. So this is book 1 in his Dark Materials series, and I'm actually really excited to get to this. This is basically about a girl named Lyra and her animal demon, and when people start appearing with their demons gone, and children start going missing, they try and figure out what's kind of going on. I have seen the movie, I have seen the show, I really like both, so I'm really looking forward to this. And in terms of for Bookemon, you need to get like your starter Pokemon, sorry, Bookemon, not Pokemon, and for me I want to do the one that is for the Earth Stone. So that is a tree on the cover, and as you can see there's loads of trees here. So this one is definitely going to be used for that, but I'll go through the rest of the Bookemon prompts after I've went through what all of the books are I'll be reading in December. We say all of the books, it's not going to be all of the books. I'm not going to read them all, but it does kind of give me enough time to mood read though. So that's always a plus side. So the first book on my list, I'm not going to do them in any particular order because there's just too many, if I'm being honest. So the first one I do need to read though is Poison by Jennifer Donnelly. So this actually was my November book club book for the Recreate Book Club, and I just never got around to it. As I said, I was away for 3 weeks. I just never had any reading time. So I am going to prioritise this. So I do need to read this in December. It's probably going to be the first book that I read after I finish From Look Off With Love. So yeah, this one should be a good one. It's a retelling of Snow White, and I like retellings, so this one should work out really well for me, and it's quite short as well, which is great. So I'm looking forward to this one. Next up we have The Comeback, and this one was actually for a November prompt, and this was for BookTuber chose the word, and it was BookTube with Amy, and it was I like what they're wearing. I actually really love what she's wearing in this, so I did choose this one, just I never got around to it. It's basically about this lawyer in America who ends up meeting this actor, I believe it's an actor from Saul, and they start this romance, and I was really, really excited for it. I thought this will be the perfect read for me, seeing a K-rock band reading about K-pop romance, or a K-actor. It's one of the two. Romance, I just never got to it, and that really, really sucks for me. But I am looking forward to this nonetheless. It's one of the ones I'm maybe most looking forward to, actually. Next up, we have The Hero of Ages. I was meant to read this one, I don't know, near the start of the year. I just never got to it, but I am very, very excited for this. This is the third book in the Mistborn trilogy. I've still never read this one. I'm determined to get to it. It's really just staring at me at the moment. So it's one I'm going to be definitely trying to prioritise within December. But yeah, I can't really say much more because it's the third one in the series. But basically there's these people called Ska who are trying to overtake the Dark Lord and regain their freedom. And there's a huge magic system. That's pretty much all I can kind of say without spoiling it. But I really, really, really love the first two books, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing how it does end. And I do have the second series, like the one that's set 300 or so years after. So I'm looking forward to getting to that one after this. And they're considerably shorter as well, which is good. But I can't wait to delve back into this world. Next up, we have The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. So this is basically about this hobbit named Bilbo Baggins, and he's going on an adventure to help save the dwarves' homeland from a dragon. And that's basically all I know. I've seen the movies, I've read the book, but it was so long ago I don't remember it. So I'm looking forward to getting back into this and just having a fun time with Bilbo, to be honest. I know I'm going to read... No, I'm not going to read. I don't know if I'm going to read it. I'm hoping to read it, but I know I definitely will watch the movies this month. So either way, I'm going to divulge this story. Next up, we have Love at First Light by Hannah Orenstein. So this is a romance, and it is about Eliza and her sister Sophie, who co-own a jewellery shop. And one day she posts a photo of her wearing a diamond ring, and people think she's now getting married. So she tries to do like a fake relationship, and I think her ex sees it or something. And she's trying to basically find herself a husband to keep her shop alive. I'm not really too sure. But also I've just realised this kind of matches my hair. Not that that means anything, but it kind of does. Anyway, so yeah, this is another one on my December TBR. In all honesty, it's not the top of my priority list, so if I get to it, I'm not too sure. But I am looking forward to getting to this one when I do get the chance anyway. Next up, we have The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. So this one has been turned into a movie, I believe. I've still not seen it though. And it's basically about this two people who share a flat. One person has it during the day, one person has it at night time, and they've never met. Don't know how they've never met. That seems barbaric to me, but they've never met. And there's a romance. I honestly don't know, guys. I honestly don't know. No, but I am looking forward to getting to this one when I do get the chance. So, yeah. As you're noticing, there's quite a few romances here, actually. Not sure what that's saying about me this year, but we'll keep going. So the next one is The Last Bear, and this is by Hannah Gold. This is a middle grade, and I was actually gifted this one from Kaz. So thank you so much, Kaz. I really wanted to get to this one. I do remember that, and I just ran out of time. But this is basically about a friendship between a girl and a polar bear, but there's belief that there's no polar bears left on this island. So yeah, they're determined to kind of save this polar bear's life, and that is basically all I know. I know it has illustrations in here as well. Let me try and find one. So there is like illustrations in here. I think that is really pretty, so I'm very, very, very much looking forward to reading this one. Hopefully I will get the chance. Next up, this is just the physical books. There is ebooks after this as well, which is insanity. We have All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. I, again, just never got the chance to read this one, unfortunately. But it basically says you fell in love with the victors of the Hunger Games and are prepared to meet the villains of the Blood Veil. I don't really know anything else about that. Ambition, magic and power, the blood before all. So I believe it's like blood magic, and they're kind of done like the Hunger Games, so only one victor, I guess. I'm not too sure, but I'm looking forward to it. It says a TikTok sensation. I've never seen anyone talk about it on TikTok. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to this one when I do get the chance. This is book 1 of 2, and a duology, so I might not prioritise this because I might save series till the new year, but we will see. We will definitely see. Next up, we'll keep going, is Beach Read, and this is by Emily Henry. I keep meaning to read Emily Henry, I just never ever seem to get the opportunity to. So I'm very much looking forward to getting to this one. It's basically about this girl who is a hopeless romantic, and she's trying to write her new novel, and then there is a male writer who needs to write a bestseller over the summer, and the two of them are on holiday, they meet, and they decide to swap genres and see how things work out. So sounds like a good time. It says it's a rom-com waiting to happen, and so yeah, another romance. Who knew there was going to be so much romance? Apparently I'm very much in a romance. Wasn't in the mood for it this year, apparently, because basically everything is romance at this point. Next up, we have Misfit, a prep novel by Elle Kennedy, again a romance. This is about a girl who is going into her senior year of high school, and that's basically all I know. It's apparently book 1 in a series, so again, I don't know if I'll get to it, just because I might keep it for the new year when I'm starting new series, etc. Because I would like to try and finish some series first and read some standalones. So this might be pushed onto next year. We'll see. But there's no harm in me if I don't read any of these books. Nothing bad is going to happen to them. I'm not unhauling them or anything like that. So it is just, these are basically ones I can mood read from for December. It's just, there is a lot. So yeah, and the next one is Haunted by Chuck Palahniuk. This is a horror novel, so a little bit of a change up, and it's basically about these group of people who go on a writing retreat, I believe, but they start basically starving, and so they start telling themselves stories in order to try and make the time go faster. However, they start getting a bit hungry, so they start eating someone while they're still alive. And so we're kind of seeing all of their stories that they're coming up with, but also the dark side of what is kind of happening to them now. I have heard Amy from Booktube with Amy really liked this one. This is why she did gift me this, and I'm so excited for it. I just haven't had the time to read it yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to getting to this one when I get the chance. It sounds scary, and it's very much splatterpunk, which is like very, very gory horror, which is the kind of horror novels I like, is very much very gory. When it comes to books, I really like being scared, and otherwise horrors don't really do that for me. So splatterpunk for me really does give me those kind of chills that I'm looking for. So I'm looking forward to getting to this one. The last physical book, yeah, you heard that right, physical, is Gleanings, and that is by Neil Shusterman. So my mum gifted me this one for Christmas, and I just never got the chance to read it, which is very, very annoying. So this is basically just a book of short stories that is to do with the Scythe universe. So there's ones in here that are to do with like animals, like what happens to animals in this world. There's like A Death of Many Colours in here. There's Anastasia's Shadow, Meet Cute and Die. There's loads of different ones in here. I don't really know too much about it, but I did see Neil Shusterman talk about this book last year, and when he did read that little excerpt, I really did love it. So I'm very much looking forward to actually just delving into this, and I am very much hoping to get to this one as well this month. So we'll see what actually does happen, because as you can tell, there's a lot. On top of this, we still have the ebooks to go through. So in terms of ebooks, the first one that I do have here is The Spirit Engineer by AJ West. So this is a horror book, and it is basically about this haunting, I guess. You're basically it's a couple of years or days or weeks, or it's something after the Titanic, and it's based on a true story about like Houdini and things, who decided to try and raise spirits to kind of understand what was kind of happening. So it's basically about that. I don't really know too much else about it. I don't have a description in front of me, but that's what I remember from it. I could be completely wrong, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to that one. The next one I have is A Sense of Something Lost. So this is by Sue Bells. This is a non-fiction book, and it is a biography, I believe, but I can't really remember what it's fully about. This was a NetGalley ARC that I've had on my shelves for such a long time, so I do need to get to that one. You'll see how I feel. I've been reading a lot of non-fiction at the moment. I'm not really too sure why, so maybe this is one that I will probably gravitate towards as a result. Next up, we have Afterlife, and this is by Duncan Ralston. This is, again, another splatterpunk horror novel. This is book 2 in a trilogy, and it is basically about this haunted house, and all the spirits basically start coming to life and killing everybody. So, in this theme park. And so this is book 2 after the events of what's happened initially in that theme park. Let's just say some of the spirits maybe get a little bit loose, and that is where we are up to. And so I'm very much looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next. The first one really creeped me out, so I'm very much looking forward to it. It's very gory, so please do be aware of that if you do decide to pick this one up. Next up, we have Polyamory on Trial. So this one is by Jude Tresswell. This is just a romance between polyamory couples. I believe it's 2 men and a female, I believe, or maybe it's 3 men. I'm not too sure. I do know it is also got that LGBT representation though, so I'm very much looking forward to this. It's again another NetGalley book that I just have not had the chance to get to, so yeah. The next and final book I do have is Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. So this one was recommended to me by Whimsical Narratives because it is a vampire romance, and it's the first one in a very long series. So again, I might push into the new year, just again try to finish a series and read some standalones rather than start loads of new series. But it is a vampire romance, and that's all I know. She knows I love Twilight. She said that I would really like this, and I trust her. So let's see if her recommendation is on point for me. I hope it will be though. But yeah, that's all the books that I am planning to read. I think there's like 18 of them. It is insane. I read averagely 5 books a month. So really, this is going to be a lot of mood reading for me. But going on, let's look at Bookemon. So as I said, I am wanting to join Team Earth and get the Bookemon for that. And so that one is Trees on the Cover. I'm going to be reading the Northern Lights for that because I know I'm going to read this anyway. So it has trees there. Perfect for me. The next one we have is Binoculars, and this was the one that was for my prompt, which I love. And so this one is to read the last book in a series. So for me, I am actually thinking of reading Gleanings for this by Neil Shusterman. It is the last one. I believe there's some stuff that's based after the 3rd book. It's some of the short stories, so yeah, I really want to read this. I think this is going to be the perfect one for that as well. So that is my goal. Next, we have Bag as read the entirety of a book in public that you're embarrassed to be seen reading. So I'm not actually too sure what I'm going to read for this. I'm thinking like a very smutty Christmas book though. We will see. Otherwise, I might read like something that's like very summer based, because to read that in the middle of winter, I'd be quite embarrassed myself to do that. So yeah, we'll see. But I think it's going to be a smutty Christmas book. There's also most likely going to be a vlog because me and Meredith and maybe a few of the other co-hosts are planning to do a reading vlog of our most embarrassing book in public. So look forward to that. I'm nervous because I'm going to do mine at a cafe, so I am very nervous. But I think it might be Beatings from Krampus, which is like a Krampus smutty novel. So we will see. Next up, we have Packed Lunch and Water, which is to eat a favourite food. I have done that already. Shoes, share a photo of your favourite socks or shoes. very easy one. These ones are not reading prompts, they're just very much life prompts. Read outside for a total of 6 hours. For me, I'm going to count the time that I'm reading in a cafe, etc. as this, because it is Scotland, it is very much snowing and wet all the time, and I'm not ruining my books. So this is going to be outside somewhere. It's probably going to be a cafe, to be honest. But I do know that Meredith said you can even have outside sort of ambience and things. So if it's getting towards the end of the month and I still need it, that's a very good option for me. Next, we have sunscreen, so 50% white cover. For this one, I am planning on doing The Hero of Ages, because we cannot say that that is not at least 50% white cover, and I'm desperate to read it. So it is also very, very big and chunky. I'm not even sure how many pages that is. 748, so it's very, very chunky. But yeah, I'm planning on reading this one for the 50% white cover. Next, we have 10, read a book about characters on vacation. For this one, I am thinking of reading Beach Read, because they are on vacation and swap genres, etc. And it should be a quick one. Otherwise, because I do know that they kind of go on vacation, again, writers. So I might choose for the horror one, which is Haunted by Chuck Palahniuk. We will see which one I decide to gravitate towards at the time. But those are my two kind of options, I think. I don't think I have any others on my TBR that is people going on holiday. So I think it's between these two. Next, we have sleeping bag. Share a photo of your favourite reading spot. I have already done that one. Umbrella. Read an entirety of a 250 plus page book on sprints. Most likely, I'm going to choose Poisoned for this, just because I do need to read it anyway. And this book is 411 pages, so this one is probably going to be the book that I do read for that, mostly because I do need to read it, so it makes most sense to use it for a prompt here. And then the other two are non-reading prompts, which is great for me, and that's Notebook to share a book review, which I will do once I finish a book this month, and then the Flashlight, which is to draw or create a picture of your character you're adventuring as. And I hate drawing, so I'm going to hate this prompt, but I'm going to do it anyway, because yeah, I'm that person, but I don't like drawing, and I'm very, very bad at creating anything with photos and pictures, etc. So it's going to look like a stick man, if I'm being honest with you guys, but it's fine, it's fine. But yeah, that's the Bookemon December round. Bookemon is also continuing throughout the whole of 2024, so do come join myself, Meredith, and the other co-hosts, and you will see loads about it from me throughout the whole year as well, because I will be trying to get as many Bookemon as I can, and so you're going to hear loads about it basically every single month. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. As you can tell, I have so many books, I don't even know where to start. I'm probably going to try and get the Bookemon prompts done first before I move on to the other books that are on my TBR, just because that way at least I know I can get all of the little tools that'll help me out throughout next year. So yeah, that's basically everything. But where do you think I should start? As I said, I've got so many books here, it is ridiculous. There's no chance I'm going to read all of these, especially as I've still not finished From Look of With Love. But yeah, do remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. And yeah, bye guys.